So do you also wish to automate the questionnaire generation for your research projects? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to learn automating questionnaire for research projects using AI agent. So like you, I also used to generate questionnaires manually for all my research projects. But this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I have simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the research project details into my spreadsheet, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the questionnaire, and further we can add that questionnaire into a Google Doc and back again into our Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Sheets, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, Google Docs, and then Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So as you know, in this video I'll show you how to build an AI agent that automates the creation of processing of questionnaires for research projects. From generating personalized questions to summarizing the response, this smart workflow uses AI tool and Google Sheets to streamline your research process. It is ideal for students, academics, or research teams looking to save and reduce their manual work. So let's dive in and let the AI accelerate your insights. So to generate this questionnaire, I have simply created an automation, and over here I'm just going to first show you the proper working of this automation. So let's say I'm just going to add the title, the introduction, the target audience, and the estimated completion time. And once I'm just going to add all of these details automatically, using these details my AI agent is going to generate me a questionnaire and add the link of the same right over here. So we don't have to do anything, we just have to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is going to generate me the questionnaire and add the questionnaire link right over here. So I'm just going to wait for a few seconds. And as you can see, the questionnaire has been added right over here within seconds in real time. Over here, you can see all the questions. There are multiple choice, there are rating scale questions, yes or no questions, and open-ended questions too. So as you can see that within seconds in real time, we have generated a questionnaire for this title. That too without any manual intervention, we just have to wait for a few seconds. So yes, if you also want to create this amazing automation, then for that, you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and search for the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in my browser. And now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And now after opening this page, we are simply going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you're going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here, I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in. And now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this button which says access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And once we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to get started with this automation, what we have to do is we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automations, and I want to name my workflow as automating questionnaires for research projects using AI agent. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create. And once we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of a trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select our trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new or updated spreadsheet row. And now it is giving me a webhook URL. So we're going to use this same webhook URL in order to create a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connects workflow. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to copy this webhook URL, and then we have to follow this help text. So I'm just going to open my Google Sheets account, and now from here we have to go towards this extensions, add-ons, and then towards this get add-ons. And once we're going to come over here towards this get add-ons, we have to add an extension in this spreadsheet, which is Pabbly Connect webhooks. So I'm simply going to search for Pabbly Connect webhooks and select it. And now once we're going to select it, over here you can see that I have already installed this extension. So over here you can also install this extension right from here. I have already installed this, so it is giving me the option of uninstall. And once you install this extension, you have to refresh your spreadsheet. It is a really important step to refresh your spreadsheet. And once you're going to refresh your spreadsheet, you're going to get the option of Pabbly Connect webhooks right over here in your extensions tab. So you have to go towards this Pabbly Connect webhooks and then initial setup. And after coming over here towards this initial setup, it is asking me for the webhook URL and the trigger column. So for the webhook URL, we are simply going to paste the URL which we copied from our workflow. And now for the trigger column, I'm simply going to enter my trigger column, which is D. So the trigger column will be your final data column, on which if the data is added, the whole of that row will be sent towards your webhook URL. So now after entering both of this, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says submit. And with this, we have successfully created a connection between our Google Sheets and our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now what is saying? It is saying waiting for a webhook response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture this webhook response, we have to do a test submission or record. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and now from here we have to go towards this extensions, Pabbly Connect webhooks, and now we have to switch on this button which is send on event. So it is a really important step to switch on this button, because upon switching on this button, what is going to happen is that whenever a new event is going to occur in our spreadsheet, automatically the details would be sent towards our workflow. So yes, now after switching on this button, we are ready to do the test submission. So I'm simply going to enter the title, the introduction, the target audience, and the estimated completion time right over here. And once we're going to enter all of these details, with this we have successfully did the test submission, and now these details have been sent towards our workflow. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and yes, you can see that Pabbly has captured the response for the same. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, which is Google Sheets. And now whenever I'm just going to add all of these details right over here, this workflow is going to get triggered. Now we're going to move on further towards our action step. For my action application, I'm simply going to select it as OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI and select it. Now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get my API key. And once we're going to open this page, over here we have to click on this green button which says create new secret key, and now it is asking me for the key name. So let's say I'm just going to name my key as AI agent right over here, and then click on this create secret key. And once we're going to click on this create secret key, over is my API key. So I'm simply going to copy this key, and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the AI model. So I'm simply going to select my AI model as GPT-4. Now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm simply going to enter my prompt right over here. And yes, over here you can see that this is my prompt, and now I'm just going to fill in these details right over here. But we're not going to enter it manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Sheets as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only, and as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map the title. For that, I'm just going to look for the title and map it. Then we're going to map the introduction to right over here. I'm just going to look for introduction in the response of my spreadsheet and map it. We're going to move on further. I'm just going to map the target audience to right over here, and the last, which is estimated completion time. So I'm just going to map this to right over here. And after mapping all of these details, we're going to move on further and click on this save and send test request. And once we're going to click on this save and send test request, my AI agent is going to generate me the questionnaire based on the details. We just have to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is generating me the questionnaire. Alright, so we're going to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is going to generate me the questionnaire right over here as the response. And as you can see that my AI agent has successfully generated me the questionnaire. Over here you can see it has 14 questions. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this step 2. And now I'm just going to add this questionnaire in a Google Doc, and then we're going to add that Google Doc link right over here in my spreadsheet. So to do this, I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Docs and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as create a blank document and click on this connect. Now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Docs account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And once we're going to click on this blue button, over here Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account, and now Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm just going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And with this, we have successfully connected our Google Docs account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me for the document name. So I want the document name to be the title first, which is the title of the research, and then I'm just going to manually enter this questionnaire because I want this to remain static. And after giving the document name, I'm simply going to click on this save and send test request, and with this we have successfully created a blank document with this name. And now what we're going to do is, in this blank document, I'm just going to add the questionnaire which my AI agent generated. For that, I'm just going to add another action step, select the action application as Google Docs, select the action event as append a paragraph to a document, and click on this connect. Recently I've connected my Google Docs, so I'm simply going to click on this select existing connection and then save right over here. Now I'm just going to select my document, but we are not going to select it manually, but instead we're going to map it. So for that, I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and map this document ID from the response of our previous step. So I'm just going to look for the document ID right over here in the response of my previous step and map it. Now we're going to move on further. Over here for the inserted text, I'm just going to insert the text, which is the questionnaire my AI agent generated. So I'm simply going to map it right over here and click on this blue button which says save and send as request. And now with this, we have successfully added this detail into this blank document. And now I'm just going to add this document link right over here in my spreadsheet. And to add this document link in my spreadsheet, we first have to make this document a shareable one. So to make this document a shareable one, I'm just going to select Google Drive right over here as my action application. For the action event, I'm simply going to select it as share a file with anyone and click on this connect. Once again, if you want to connect your Google Drive account, you can go towards this add a new connection, click on this sign in with Google, select your Gmail account, give Pabbly all the permissions. I have already connected my Google Drive account, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And once we're going to click on this save right over here, automatically our Google Drive account is connected. Once again, it is asking me to select the file, so I'm simply going to map it. I'm just going to switch on this mapping button and map the document ID and click on this save and send test request button right over here to make this document ID a shareable one. Alright, so once we're going to map this, automatically this will turn dynamic. And now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see that we have received a positive response where we have received this web view link. And now I'm just going to add this web view link right over here in my spreadsheet, because now this document has become a shareable one. For that, I'm just going to add another action step, select my action application as Google Sheets. Now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as update a cell value, and then we're going to click on this connect. I've already connected my Google Sheet, so I'm simply going to go towards this select existing connection and then save. And now after clicking on this save, it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So as you can see, the name of my spreadsheet is research questionnaire. So I'm just going to select the same right over here. Now we're going to move on forward. I'm just going to select the sheet, which is sheet 1. And now it is asking me for the range. So it is saying enter the range of the sheet that needs to be updated here. So I'm simply going to enter the range, which is E4. So I'm just going to enter E4 right over here, but we're not going to enter E4 like this, because not only this E4, what I want is whenever I add new details, automatically this row should be updated, right? So not only this E4, but let's say I'm just going to add the details in this row, then the cell value will be E5, E6, E7 and so on. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to keep this E as constant, because this is constant, right? Only the row is changing. So I'm simply going to map the row index and keep E as constant. Now it's asking me for the value, so I'm simply going to map this link right over here, which is the web view link, and click on this save and send test request. And yes, you can see with this we have received the positive response that we have successfully added this link in our spreadsheet. So I'm just going to open my spreadsheet, and as you can see, the link has been added, and over here you can see the questionnaire which my AI agent generated. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow. And now, like I showed you in the starting of this video, whenever I'm just going to add all of these details right over here, my AI agent is going to generate me the questionnaire. Further, we're going to add that questionnaire in a Google Doc, and we're going to add that Google Doc link in our spreadsheet. That too without any manual intervention. All of this is going to happen in backend. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow and this video too. And now if you have any questions related to the flow or the video, you can directly comment on this video. See you in the next video with many more automation tips, everyone. Thank you.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.